Hey, you guys. We're just hanging out at home today. It's a rainy, cold day. Where has spring gone? It's supposed to be warm. But I want to give you a little bit of encouragement from kind of a recap of Bible study on Wednesday. So, since it's raining, I was like, let's talk about water a little bit. When we were at Bible study on Wednesday, we looked at a couple different passages where it refers to water as the thing we need, right, to live. It's kind of important. You need water. But then Jesus talks about it too in a spiritual sense, and so does just the Old Testament, where so many times we run to other things to sustain us spiritually other than the fount of living water, which can always supply and always fulfill. So in Jeremiah, we looked at this passage in Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 13, and it said, "My people," which is talking about Israel, "have committed two sins. They have forsaken me, forsaken God, the spring of living water. So they've turned from God, who's the one who can sustain, and dug their own cisterns, broken cisterns that cannot hold water." Just think of a cistern as like a water holding thing, like a well or a pit or a jug. If it's broken, why do we keep pouring things into it when it's not going to be filled up, right? And so many times in our life, it's the same thing. We fill our lives with things that aren't meant to sustain or fulfill us, and they will always run right through us. They might satisfy for a moment, right? Like sin is appealing because it does give us feelings. It does provide something for us, but it's always taking the good God has provided and twisting it into a bad way. And then it leaves us more empty than we ever were to start. So coupling off of that in the New Testament in John chapter 4, we didn't get to read this in Bible study, so this is what I wanted to challenge you guys to do. In John chapter 4, there's this whole account where Jesus goes to this well and he talks to this woman there. And when he's talking to this woman, he actually Jesus always said things that weren't answering questions because he always knew he was getting to somebody's heart. He was getting to the real point of the matter. And the woman is talking with him, and Jesus says, "If you knew the gift of God and who it is that asks you for a drink, you would have asked him, and he would have given you what? Living water," right? And then in verse 13, Jesus answers her again. He says, "Everyone who drinks from this water, like the well, will be thirsty again. But everyone who drinks the water I give them will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give them will become a spring of water welling up to eternal life." There's this theme of water that flows through the Bible, this analogy, this symbolism. And my question for you guys is, what are you running to be fulfilled right now? What are you going to pass the time, to make you feel like the quarantine is more worth it? What's your go-to? And is it really providing what you think it is, right? Whether it's a getaway, whether it's just communication with friends, are you actually going to the things that really provide? God offers us living water. And it's hard sometimes to really see how tangible that is when we don't see God with us now. But that's what he claims. So we need to seek after that. And my challenge for you guys is to really sit back and analyze your life. Are you challenging yourself to seek after the spring of living water? Or are you selling yourself short for other things that don't really provide or don't really sustain? That's your daily Devo for today. We love you guys. We're praying for you.